So Push Lee, it's Putin right now. He's actually saying that he's introducing the first unproven vaccine. He's saying he's gonna let it out in the world pretty much. I'm gonna share this article real quick to give some context to it, to show people that maybe you might want this vaccine. So Putin announces approval of a second unproven coronavirus vaccine. So
yeah, they're only going to give the vaccine to the people who are in the political party that opposes his. Those are the only people that get that
vaccine. So Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced the approval of a second new coronavirus in as many months, but neither has completed the kind of extensive and rigorous 3-phase trials required in the U.S. So speaking during a televised news conference, he's introduced this vaccine that they're tested on people already all over the world already. He also said that people within the department got vaccines. So he's saying that people within the Kremlin was getting vaccines. They've gotten this, so the world's gonna have it now for all the people. So
yeah, I think the thing that stands out to me is, why would you need a second vaccine if the first one worked that you approved? I mean, you approved it, that means it works, right? So what do you need a second one for?
So they're saying that vaccine. When Wednesday's announcement came days after the Kremlin said that another vaccine registered in August had only just begun the second round of phase 3 safety and efficacy trials. That vaccine, known popularly as Sputnik V.
Why did you say it like that? Why did you say it like that?
So like what? I'm saying has been met with skepticism, both inside and outside of Russia. At the point of his approval, Putin said that his daughter had already been given 2 doses. So that's allegedly. People are not really sure that's true or not.
Well, she should not have defied his orders when she went and dated that black guy.
Oh God.
now she got 2 doses of Putin's special coronavirus cocktail, which is probably filled with polonium.
Oh yeah, what happened to all of his opposition leaders? So if Phil can drop this video real quick.
Georgia, very much. Our correspondent there in Rome.
I'm about to say, what are we talking about?
President Vladimir Putin made the announcement.
More horrible stuff happening in 2020.
The vaccine had completed early-stage tests, but hasn't been subject to large-scale trials like those required in Europe and the US. In August, Russia began testing its first vaccine on 40,000 volunteers. Well, our correspondent Galina Polanskaya joins us now from Moscow for more. Galina, what do you know about this new vaccine? What kind of trials and testing has it gone through, and when might it be that the general public could use it?
Morning, Rosa. Well, what we know that the name of this vaccine is Epivac Corona, and it is being described as peptide-based shot. Vladimir Putin declared that it had been registered in Russia, and we know that only about 100 of people took part in the early trials, only like some volunteers, and it is being declared that those trials were successful. But as with the first vaccine, Rosie, this one is the one where the authorities are really cutting corners, declaring that another vaccine is going to appear in Russia very soon, and the authorities say that 60,000 doses will be produced very shortly. Putin yesterday said that the deputy prime minister and the head of Russia's sanitary watchdog have already been vaccinated with this new Epivac Corona vaccine, and they say that this vaccine is safer for older people and those who have chronic diseases, but of course there is a lot of skepticism here, as long as with the first vaccine, Rosie.
I mean, it was only a few weeks ago, at the end of August, that we had this other vaccine that Putin was heralding, saying that his daughter had taken it, encouraging teachers across the country to have it. What's happened to that vaccine?
Well, actually, it was not only Vladimir Putin's daughter, but dozens of politicians in the state parliament and in the government, and the Moscow mayor, all of them declared that they have taken this vaccine, that they've been vaccinated. They say on the state TV that they feel very good with no side effects, but the teachers actually were not very happy to understand that they could also be a part of the so-called trial period. And there was even a petition where teachers said that they don't want to be vaccinated until this Sputnik V vaccine is proved to be safe. But the government and all the officials say that it is safe, that it does not have any side effects. And you see, this week Russia saw a record number of new cases of COVID and deaths. And as I see it from here, the authorities want to persuade the people that it is better to be vaccinated and that they don't want to lock down Moscow or other cities of Russia anymore.
Galina Polinskaya.
Yeah, so more than 23,000 people have died in Russia so far. They're the fourth leading deaths in one of the countries behind like India, Brazil, and our great nation. We're number one in everything. So we're gonna say Dr. Everything is.
Yeah, it's weird how they're saying that that it's safe, but they hadn't run any trials. So they're basically forcing people, and especially you look at why do teachers in every country seem to get shit on, no matter what. No matter what country they live in, no matter what,
like the cultural nuances of how they get shitted on, like
yeah,
it's crazy.
Like I signed up to teach children, not to be a guinea pig. Yeah. And it's like, all right, so we didn't see any side effects. Well, are these people still getting a Rona? So I mean, no side effects doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot.
They only know about so far a year. After you get the coronavirus, what happens? They don't know what happens after that. What's going to happen after you recover from it. So it's crazy that people don't realize that. So, but there's two vaccines he claims that are working, and the first one is Sputnik 5, and there's a video about it because it's been out for a little bit. So you actually have a video of it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of surreal. If Phil can play it.
Russia calls it relief for the world. These shipments contain the vaccine candidate Sputnik. 2,000 Venezuelans will try it out, including a member of the presidential family.
Would you put Sputnik in your veins?
Nicolas Ernesto Uruguera told me of his decision to be vaccinated with the Russian vaccine to join the trial. I think it's very good.
Belarus was the first foreign country to receive batches of the vaccine last week. India
is also interested in testing it.
What?
For Russia,
comment section?
It could be
moment,
like the one in 1957 when the communists launched the first satellite.
People want to express themselves.
In August, Russia declared
they
itself
express themselves in cut and paste fashion.
Vaccine. Groups have been receiving Sputnik
Autobots.
Health workers,
unite.
Alongside China, Russia has been deploying the shots before full efficacy trials are complete. The results are promising. The vaccine has been met with some skepticism.
So this report is from August, I think.
Just one of a series of hygiene measures Semyon Galperin undertakes.
A week ago.
Doesn't want to take any chances with coronavirus, but he knows a vaccine would offer the best protection against COVID-19.
My dude is sitting in the office like that.
A new Russian one. Someone has to do it. Without clinical trials, there are no medicines. The effectiveness of a vaccine can only be evaluated in the third phase of clinical trials. Stage 3 of the trials began a month ago, but the vaccine, which has been named Sputnik 5, was licensed already in August before they began. Mass inoculation in Russia is planned for later this year, something numerous experts have sharply criticized.
That is their stage 3 trial.
It says the vaccine has been developed from already known substances and doesn't pose any health risks.
Yeah. Wow.
Russia urgently needs an effective vaccine. The country currently has the 4th highest number of coronavirus cases worldwide. and the numbers continue to rise, with around 6,000 new infections each day. Galperin and other doctors working say they are not worried about the vaccine's safety.
Okay.
After all, the vaccine has already been tested on several well-known public people, and they're doing quite well.
Oh, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
These
Small
public
sample
figures
size.
include Russian
Yep, good
Defense
science.
Minister Sergei Shoigu, Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin, and one of President Vladimir Putin's daughters. Important PR material.
But they keep saying that allegedly she didn't get
It's
the
part of
vaccine.
Russia's strategic interests to always want to be first, irrespective of whether it's a revolution or the first flight into space. Now it's about saying
She
that
really
we're the
committed to that hair
first to
color.
develop a vaccine. Internally, we're showing that the situation is under control. Externally, it's a signal that Russia is still
She looks like
mastering
multi-pass
its role
from
as
Fifth Element.
savior of the world.
Like a grandmother.
Semyon
Yes.
Galperin isn't thinking about his country's PR plans just now. The doctor
Oh,
is here
thank-
because he's
shout out
hoping
to-
to help win
Whoa,
the fight
shit.
Roseanne.
against the coronavirus pandemic. People are
Some
tired.
low budget ass syringes.
They want it to
Ugh.
be over. The new vaccine would help calm people and offer a way out of the situation. It will most likely be at least several months until the results of the phase 3 trials are known. Only then can the actual effectiveness and safety of Russia's Sputnik 5 vaccine be assessed.
Noah Batsif works at the International Vaccine Access Center at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. So, will the Russians be the first?
Look, there are lots. We want lots of people to achieve a vaccine. It's not about who's going to be first. It's about as many people as can cross the finish line, really, to have a safe and effective vaccines. We want multiple winners here. The Russian vaccine is certainly, doing moving into large-scale phase 3s, as are many others. And we want licensure to occur after the completion of those phase 3s, when we have good safety data and good efficacy data that the vaccines actually work. So lots of people we want to succeed here, not just one group over another.
On the point of safety, have the Russians been fudging the numbers, as some have accused, and skipping parts of the trials?
There's no good solid evidence that there's been any concern about the numbers. The detail that was given in the Russian papers, the paper was excellent. The quality of the evidence was as solid as any of the other published papers. There have been some lay reports on blogs and so on. Those really don't hold water when examined thoroughly and statistically. So no, I don't have any more concerns about this group than any other group, particularly, no.
Was somebody off camera
Now,
holding
the
a rifle?
You was gonna say it.
Still not widely used.
Like a laser dot in the back of his head or something. Like
Right in the side of his
There are a
dome.
number of other vaccine platforms that we have a lot more experience with.
no, he's in America, so
The
he's
advantage of adenovirus vectored vaccines is that they are potentially capable of delivering almost any antigen to the immune system, and so they're and the vector itself is designed to
He has to lay down to
non-replicating,
take
so
a
it
shot?
can't cause infection.
Yeah, they
The
gonna kill him.
capacity to do that, the capacity to develop these vaccines has been in development for quite a long time, but only recently has it reached licensure under the pressure, really, of developing a vaccine against Ebola virus, and that's been a success. So that's good, and we'd like to see more of these vaccines going forward. Clearly, we need lots more experience with them, particularly around safety and around efficacy, but there's no reason to suspect that there'll be problematic vaccines. In fact, they're likely to be very good vaccines. When you have a range of potential adenovirus vectors, some are more frequently encountered by human populations than others, then there are differences potentially that could arise among the different products, and that's some of the detail that's coming up from some of the scientific literature. But as a platform, it's a really exciting platform, and we hope that there'll be lots of opportunity to develop this platform with vaccinology beyond this pandemic into the future also.
What's the certainty, though, that vaccines that pass phase 3 will be successful for the wider population?
There's never certainty. Science is built on uncertainty and falsifiability. So it's really important that our methods are as rigorous as they can be. And it's important that we continue to evaluate the vaccine even after it's rolled out and even after it achieves licensure in phase 3. Phase 3 trials are the trials that demonstrate large scale, in terms of tens of thousands and collectively close to hundreds of thousands of people, safety in trial participants. And importantly, efficacy against disease. So it actually protects human beings against disease. That's the minimum that we require for licensure. If a vaccine is very rarely harmful, it causes serious
It's really
harm
bad, but
very
we're talking
rarely,
about the minimums.
then society has to
The
weigh up.
bare minimum.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
They all are potentially
Fiddle thrown at
harmful,
home.
but very rarely so. But they're very, very beneficial, and frequently so. So it's always a question of balancing risks and benefits. And that correct balance requires good science, good surveillance, and good evidence going forward beyond phase 3 and beyond licensure, well into many years of hopefully future use.
You've said it's problematic if a vaccine is designed to target the disease and not the infection. Why?
Well, it's not exactly right, but you're close. I mean, all vaccines really are designed to target disease. But clearly we're facing a complex situation currently
So
with
we can
coronavirus
custom
because we have
this, Phil.
widespread infection and transmission.
So I mean, it's going to be up to debate whether you have the privilege enough to choose some international vaccine that if you have that money. Like I want to get the
But if you go back to our show on Tuesday, you know, a world collaborative effort is better than waving your USA pom poms around. We don't know where the actual, for all we know, for all the jokes that we have about Putin and Russia and how illegitimate their information tends to be, and with their state-run media, et cetera, there is a chance that the most effective vaccine comes out of Russia. There's a chance that the most effective vaccine might come out of China. At this point, I don't really give a shit where it comes from, as long as it's effective and it's not killing people that it's intended to protect.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's the idea. The idea is, the utopian kind of idealistic idea is that the whole global effort that's happening, and people putting in their trillions of dollars that they're sitting around in the Caribbean island accounts, putting the effort in like World War II style with the tanks and the planes, but with vaccines. And if this country can do it, this company can do it, everyone can do it. Everyone race to do it with your team and see who does it first. And if everyone comes out 2 or 3 of them, that's better than this one company doing it. So I mean, it's happening in a really haphazard, disastrous way in some ways. That people are kind of gambling on it. Companies are betting on putting. It's more of like a casino more than kind of like a community effort. That's what it feels like. If that makes any sense. It just feels like a casino.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man. So
So that's Global Earth News. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, all those different places. Act.tv on YouTube. We have about 40,000 subscribers in there, so you can catch clips there. We're gonna go to Fight Club.